Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. Be a part of it by following us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and actually see the After the Show podcast.
On Friday, we like to dig in and do a little deep dive into you, into your email and even your calls and text that we don't get to during the show. So let's jump right in with Michelle, who sent this an email. It's Grateful Friday, and I want to send an email. I want to send a message. I faithfully listen to you three every morning on the way to work. You three make my mornings at work so much better. I love the conversations you have. It makes me feel like I'm there with you guys.
Oh,
yay.
Thank you.
We want that. So thank you for letting us know that. That's the goal. Thanks again for taking the time to read this. I really hope to hear it on air. Take care. Okay, so you're hearing it in the podcast, Michelle.
Yeah.
At least there's that.
Yeah, thank you.
We also have this from Louise. The stars have aligned. This is so cool, guys. I listened to Murphy, Sam, and Jodi faithfully while living in San Antonio. I left San Antonio for business for a couple of months, and when I returned, you were not there. After you left, I changed radio stations. Fast forward a few more months, and I was traveling through Alabama, Mississippi, across the country, and heard you again. Now, for a few years later, I'm in West Tennessee. We've only been here a few weeks, and I was flipping through, and I found the one I like, the station, and then I heard Jodi doing a commercial. Sure enough, the next thing I heard was for Murphy, Sam, and Jodi. So happy I can now listen to my favorite show again.
Oh, thank you.
Is Phoebe in college? ? Has Taylor graduated? Sam, how old is the grandbaby now? And how is Elphys?
Oh, Lord.
Looking forward to radio again. Stay well, Louise.
Thank
Isn't
you, Louise.
that sweet?
Wow.
That's awesome to hear from you. Well,
Yeah.
so our youngest daughter, Phoebe, is in college. She's a sophomore this year. Our oldest daughter, Taylor, graduated in May. And so she's
degree in
taking
psychology.
taking a gap year, and then she'll go get her master's in psychology.
That's
And
the update. Can we share the update on Phoebe, too? You think she'd be okay with us sharing that she has? I'm so excited for her. I don't think we've even told you this, Sam. So we'll tell Louise and you at the same time. Phoebe has chosen a major. She has switched to something that she really finally feels and identifies with, and we think she's going to be really happy with it. And she's in the School of Music now.
Oh, cool.
She took a summer class about lyrics, and they did all kinds of different, like they did the music from the 1920s and breaking down lyrics and how songs were put together then.
it was
all the way
basically a
to now.
song a decade. They did a song a decade over 100 years.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
They went all the way to like a Taylor Swift song, like Fortnite was one that they studied too.
Wow.
this is
It being put together and all.
this really is a perfect blend of her personal passion, kind of joining her college career.
Yeah.
Because she's been struggling, as a lot of people do. I mean, it's very difficult because you go in thinking, I've got to pick the one thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life, which is, of course, not possible.
No.
I mean, I guess it's probable if you've got a personal passion, but it's, sometimes for some people it's just difficult. And so now that she's in a place where she's already a music fanatic, she plays guitar, both electric and acoustic, she sings, she's now decided, okay, this is the path. I'm
she
very
starts
excited
talking
about it.
about things in music and in songs that go over my head because as far as music goes, I'm just a consumer. I just enjoy it.
She's talking music theory.
She starts talking about all kinds of stuff with Murphy, and you guys start talking about all that stuff that I almost don't want to know how it's made. I just want to enjoy it. But she gets really into it.
I
and
know
think
just
it's so
enough
cool.
to be, to be in a basic conversation about chords and those kind of things and arrangements. And but music theory, I mean, that's deep anyway. Even for somebody who is a professional musician, music theory is pretty challenging in detail.
Yeah. Now, when she decided to switch, it was right at the beginning of the semester. And so it was crunch time for her she joined some classes. Like she signed up for a new class 10 minutes before it started and she ran in. True
Yeah, she
story.
did.
And she said she didn't understand a lot what they were covering because they were already underway when she got there.
Yeah.
She said, but the professor was so fantastic. She walked up to him after and said, I'm new. I just joined. When can I do office hours with you to get caught up? And he goes, let's catch up right now. And she said that he gave her a lesson right there about, and it was about reading music. Yeah. But also crunch time. I know I'm going overboard, Louise. She had to submit some videos of her playing, her singing, all of that. So they would know kind of where she is, what she's got
Oh, that's cool.
going on. So that is the update, and let's update on Hollis too.
Yeah, Hollis is still there. He's 5. He's actually in kindergarten this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And then what was it? Last week we had Grandparents' Day, so we got to have cinnamon rolls with Hollis.
Are you
That's
hoping that you're going to get to go Grandparents' Day another part of the year, school year?
I think it's only once a year, isn't it?
Oh, well, where Taylor and Phoebe went to school, it was twice a year.
Oh.
Well, that's because it was donuts with Dad and muffins with Mom.
I thought we did it twice though in a
Whoa,
year.
that's parents. That's not grandparents.
I know. I'm just I don't know what the grandparents thing was. You're right. Maybe grandparents is just once a.
Well, you'll know one day.
I will know one day, and I'm happy to wait.
We're not in a rush, right?
Yeah, happy to wait for that.
And then, it's Louise, your question on Elvis, and for anybody that doesn't know who Louise is referencing there, Elvis joins us when Santa Claus joins us every single year, on Murphy, Sam, and Jody.
He brings Elvis when, and Elvis is
his lead elf, basically.
Yeah.
He rides with him in the sleigh.
And he's fine. And yes,
Got a little temper.
Sam still picks on him, because of his size and whatnot. But, they still, they kiss and make up every holiday season.
I think what you're trying to say, Murphy, is he's short-tempered.
Yeah. It's a good thing he's not here to answer that
Yeah.
one.
It's that kind of thing. Anyway, we love hearing from you. Let us know where you're listening and keep it coming anytime.
So I think we missed a voicemail or two. You want to check those too,
For
so
sure.
we can answer those. Here we go.
Yeah, I was just calling in about the central perk, the couch. If you notice in any of the episodes, if you look real close, there is a reserved sign on the table in front of it. Thank you.
Oh, from the TV show Friends. As a Friends fanatic, thank you for the voicemail.
You can't notice everything in that apartment and coffee shop, can you? You're watching the characters.
I'm going to have to go back and look now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was because
seeing-
y'all were wondering why every time they got there, the sofa was open and nobody else
Right.
I just
jumped
said
on
it's
it.
unrealistic
Yeah.
to expect a sofa like that to be open in a coffee shop in New York City.
But see, even that, that even never crossed my mind. It's just like it's the sofa that they sit on. It never crossed my mind that it would ever be occupied by somebody else. Although it seems like there might have been an episode or two where they made fun of those kinds of things, where there was an episode where they went in and somebody else was on the couch or something.
I think that was addressed once.
And everybody stopped and looked around or
like,
something
what do we do
that.
here?
Yeah.
What do we do here?
Right.
So cute. And the reason we even told that story, so thank you for that voicemail, is because the new CEO of Starbucks, we know they have a new CEO. One of the things that he wants to do, what they plan to do, and I think this is smart, is to make the coffee house, their coffee houses, more comfortable, more like a 90s coffee house where you would just go really hang out. Not that we don't already do that in all kinds of coffee houses, but I will tell you, if I'm there to do more than pick up and leave, if I'm there to meet a friend, my first thing is to look for somewhere comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's not a hard-edged chair with a wire and back, It's something that I can get cozy in.
Right.
It really is. So hopefully, Starbucks will be changing, apparently, according to the new CEO.
Well, and I'm sure every coffee house will follow that trend if they haven't already.
Correct.
I still do believe though that what changed that was COVID, because you wound up the spacing and reducing the amount of the furnishings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, there was even a time period where you couldn't go sit in most coffee houses. You had to get everything to go.
Correct.
So now that we're kind of going back in the other direction,
it needs to be more comfortable.
Yeah,
like,
welcoming.
give me a reason to stay.
Right.
And I will say this, thinking about spatially, I think they've made a lot of correct decisions, although it does need to pivot. It needs to change. The last time I was in a Starbucks, I ran in to pick something up and I had some work to do. So I just, I sat down and opened my laptop, but I was at a big, long, uncomfortable table. It was a workstation table where 12 people could have, like 6 on one side and 6 on the other. And I was there and there were a couple of other people. We were spread out, but all sharing the same table. And that's fine. But it just wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world. Mm-hmm. It was very functional. And it was right. They were using the amount of space that they had correctly.
Did they say if they're going to add stages so that they can have performers that sing Smelly Cat?
I don't know. That'd be a good thing for a corner, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Reach out to us anytime. We always love to hear from you. You can call us, you can text, and of course, just like you heard the voicemail there, even when we're not here, you can leave us a message at 877-310-4MSJ and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jody podcast.